Ambassador Barbara Lee, former Assistant Secretary of State, thank you for joining me on American Dialogues.
I'm delighted to be here.
So let's start with your last post in the Biden administration. Were you disappointed by the administration handling of the Gaza war and its reluctance to exert stronger pressure on Israel?
Look, in the course of my 35 plus years in diplomatic service, I will say candidly, I have never worked on something as complex, as ferociously complex, and as emotionally wrenching as the Gaza conflict. And I say that in reference to the suffering, of course, of both peoples, of Israelis who still today have not recovered from the shock of October 7th, and for whom the missing, whether dead or alive in Gaza remains, it's an open wound. And on the other hand, it is unbelievably painful to see every day the degree of the suffering of the 2 million plus Gazans and what they have gone through in this almost 2-year saga. So do I ask myself, could we have done better? Should we have done things differently? These are always the questions that haunt you. And I can say that I can say the following. There were various points in the road when we had a series always of bad and less bad options. And those options now are fully Israel's. And the degree of difficulty that the Israeli public and the Israeli government is having in coming to terms with the situation in Gaza and where they go from here is beyond anything I've seen in this 2 years. This is a long answer to a question for which I don't have still the answers. At many points, I would have done X rather than Y or Z. But ultimately, this was a course that was set by the president himself, looking at, again, options that were never crystal clear, options that were rarely black and white, and the effort of moving things, moving policy, moving the events themselves in the middle of a conflict. There is nothing more difficult than that.